Meow, I'm Tonya Todd, creator of 52 Love. 52 Love began as a blog series, offering one love lesson per week for an entire year of intimacy tips to try with your partner. From there, I hosted the 52 Love podcast, where existing couples came on the show, tried the tips, and shared their experience with it. The book version came out last year, and on February 14th, we have something new to add to the series. 52 Love, A Year of Romance. In this short story collection, 12 authors are joining me in taking characters from our existing works and using one of the 52 Love tips as a story prompt. And to celebrate the release of Volume 1, we are recording author-to-author interviews so that you can hear a little bit about their story process, how they became involved, and how their characters connect to a greater literary universe. We hope you enjoy this behind-the-scenes glimpse. Check out 52 Love, A Year of Romance on February 14th.
So let's talk about the 52 love lessons.
Oh,
Do you want
oh
to tell
gosh.
me tell me about your contribution to the collection?
Well, it was very interesting the way Tanya approached my involvement. We were part of a Wednesday online critique group,
Hmm.
and of course, Tanya's very familiar with my Deadhead people. Um, I have a trilogy. Well, it's not a true trilogy. I mean, it's not packaged together as a trilogy,
Hmm.
but there are three novels using all the same characters, and they're all ghosts. So,
Okay, awesome.
um, and so we were talking in our critique group, and Tanya said, "Well, I want to do this podcast, and would you be part of it?" And sure. And then, okay, now I want to do an anthology based on this. Would you be part of it? And sure. And it just kind of snowballed from there. When I said, well, what would I write about?
Hmm.
And she said, well, what about one of your characters from the Deadheads?
Hmm.
And I thought, wow, okay. And try and pair that to something that would like connect to 52 Love.
Right.
Y- And I'm like, well, yeah, I don't know. But then it kind of finally hit me when she asked me if I would do tea time because she knows I don't go anywhere without my iced tea. It's
Okay.
like this bottomless glass of iced tea.
Unsweetened?
And and I went, well, okay, maybe I could do that. Because one of the characters in the first book, well, she's in the first two books, is an old librarian, retired librarian, who just dotes on her husband, and making tea for her is just like this loving ritual, you
Hmm.
know, and it all has to be done in exactly the right way. And when she's done, the entire tea set has to be put back where it belongs in precisely the right way. And so it kind of snowballed from there when her unit gets sold because she's dead. you know. So the estate goes to sell her unit, and she doesn't know what she's going to do, where she's going to go, but she's really concerned about her tea set.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, I read the short tea time. And yeah, and the love and the care about the tea set and how particular she is about it, it really comes across nicely in there.
Oh, thanks, thanks. And I love your flash mob.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
I loved the flash mob. How cool was that?
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so my lesson, it was dealing with holding hands. And yeah, so it was based off of characters from my past back catalog from The Amazing Date was the book. And I just love, in terms of love languages, two people holding hands is so and that connection and how special it is, and that's what I really wanted to really showcase and highlight. And yeah, you're the flash mob is part of the surprise in the short story, and dealing with the blackout in New York City. It was fun to write. It's a brand new story. It was really good to revisit the characters again.
It's very cool. As I was reading through your piece, and I got to the point where they're going down the street holding hands and swinging their arms,
Yes, yes.
and I thought back to my week in New York and trying to navigate the streets, with all the people, and it seemed to me like everybody in New York is in a great big hurry to get wherever it is they're going,
Yes,
you know.
yes,
And
yes.
so when your characters are swinging their arms, I'm thinking, oh my God, I hope they don't smack somebody.
Yes, yes. And I make mention of it in terms of them realizing that they're acting like tourists because New Yorkers don't do that. They don't, they usually single file. But yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, and for as wide as some of those sidewalks are,
Hmm.
you go, why do people walk single file for the most part?
Yeah. Yes, yes, yes.
But then the closer we got, the further we wandered from our hotel because
Hmm.
we basically walked everywhere.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
the only time we grabbed a taxi was to go to the lab workshop and back every day.
Right. Right.
Other than that, we were walking.
Hmm.
The further we got from our hotel, the more there was construction on facades of buildings.
Yes, yes, yes. There's always construction.
And you didn't have any choice but to go single file. And I was like, this is where it comes from.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, that there's certain parts of the city that seems to always be under construction, and you're actually thankful, like on rainy days, you can actually go like half a mile without actually getting wet because you're under stuff.
Built-in umbrella.
Right, exactly.
So
So
it looks like we both adapted from existing books.
yes, yes, yes. So tell me, how did it feel to revisit those characters for you?
It was kind of fun, really,
Hmm.
because I got to expand on Mrs. McClaskey's character.
Hmm.
I mean, she's very much in the book. She's very much a nurturer.
Hmm.
Um, the young woman across the hall from her in the condo across the hall, um, her husband dies on the very first page of the book.
Hmm. Wow.
Um, and so she ends up being kind of like the nurturer, caretaker of this young woman,
Hmm.
trying to guide her through losing a spouse.
Right, right.
Um, and so when I decided, yeah, I would do Mrs. McClaskey, I was like, oh my, she's such a wonderful character, I think anyway, you
Hmm.
know. Um, and it just kind of drew me to her out of
Awesome.
all the other characters in the book.
Hmm. So let me ask you this, in terms of revisiting those characters, has that given you any thoughts of expanding your universe and writing more in that universe, coming out with more stories?
Oh my gosh. Well, I've got a whole bunch of short ghost stories,
Okay.
and I've tried starting a fourth novel with those
Hmm.
characters,
Hmm.
and I got like maybe, I don't know, maybe 10 or 12 chapters in. I was like, this just isn't working.
Okay.
So I put it away. It's sitting in the virtual file cabinet.
Yeah, I think every author has one of those virtual file cabinets.
Yeah, right. How many do you have?
Oh God, I'm afraid to open that virtual file cabinet and look. I have some that are you stopped at 10 and 12. I've stopped at like 25 chapters in on some of them. So
Oh
yeah, it's
gosh.
scary. It's scary, some of them. So
Yeah. Yeah, it is scary. Um, the the book that I just got the offer on, um, I when I started and I took it to critique group, two or three different critique groups, and they kept on, helping me improve it, improve it, improve it. And I know, oh, this is great. So I sent it out to a few beta readers,
mhm.
and they came back and said, well, it's okay, but boy, the middle part sags.
Gotcha.
And I can't tell you how many times I thought, I'm just going to dump this and forget about it.
Hmm.
And the the oh, I don't know if it was the overall arc that
Hmm.
kept pulling me back in, the whole
Hmm.
domestic abuse, um, because it's a male character that deals with the abuse, um, or if it was the characters themselves just didn't want to leave me alone, you know.
Gotcha. Hmm.
Um, so I kept pulling it back out, and I'd tear it apart, and I'd redo it, and I'd tear it apart and redo it.
Hmm. Very, very familiar process. That troublesome muddle in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And of course it's gone through I don't know how many different kinds of titles and
Hmm.
so good Lord.
That's very cool. So you mentioned in terms of you working on a contract for a new piece. What else do you have upcoming?
Oh gosh, I've got a new play I'm writing.
Hmm.
Takes place in Manhattan, so I might be able to pick your brain later
Oh,
on.
absolutely. Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Um, and it's a comedy, and it's Puck and Ariel and
Hmm.
Oberon,
Hmm.
um, in Manhattan, and they've taken the idea from Love's Labor's Lost,
Okay.
and they're going to turn it into a win for somebody.
Okay. Interesting.
So I got that, um, and I have a 90-minute drama that I'm pitching,
Hmm.
and that's again, I don't know why the whole thing of abuse comes up, but the drama is the sexual abuse in the Catholic Church,
Wow.
and really goes into not doesn't truly focus, I don't think anyway, on the abuse in the church, but how the cycle continues.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so I'm pitching that.
Okay. Wow. That's
And
that's a tough one.
yeah, yeah. And then of course on the side, I'm a theater critic here in town.
Nice.
So I go and see plays. I got a play I have to see tomorrow night.
Hmm.
And then get my review in by 10 a.m. on Saturday morning.
Okay. Short turnaround.
But yeah, yeah. I work better on deadlines. Do you?
Yes, absolutely.
Do
Absolutely.
you?
Yeah, the more time you give me, the more time I'll take. So
Oh, let's see what's going on Facebook today.
right, exactly.
Oh, maybe do a little blue sky.
Yes, yes. That's very cool. So in terms of readers and listeners to this recording, how best can they stay connected with you?
With me,
Yes.
I have a website, of
Mhm.
course. It doesn't get updated unless something major happens.
Okay. And
So
what's the website?
www.paulatreides.com.
Excellent. Excellent.
and and I'm on Facebook. I
Hmm.
I'm probably way more active on Facebook than anywhere else. So
Gotcha.
yeah, and they can find me on Facebook easily enough. Paul Atreides,
Very cool. Awesome.
where they
Awesome.
can harass me over the name.
Well, they can come to you with different comments on plays they've seen. So,
Yeah, yeah, it's all Muad'Dib. Can you share some spice?
so how long have you been doing the play critic?
I started as a theater critic for the Las Vegas Review Journal in 2013,
Hmm.
I think it was. Um, and then Nathan Adelson bought the newspaper,
Hmm.
paid $142 million for one newspaper,
Wow.
also because it's the major newspaper for the state of Nevada.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Um, and he's just was, his wife still is, a huge Trump fan.
Hmm. Hmm.
So he bought the paper specifically so he could turn it into a very conservative thing,
Hmm.
um, and cut all the local stuff,
Gotcha.
all of it. Um, and so I was like, well, okay, what can we do to fill that gap? And as I was sitting on my butt thinking about it,
Hmm.
you know, a woman here in town called me up and she said, I'm starting a website to take the place of the RJ. Would you like to be a part of it?
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, okay.
Hmm.
So we've been doing that ever since.
Awesome. Awesome. So I know critics aren't supposed to have a favorite, but what's the favorite theater performance have you seen in all your reviews?
Oh, in all of them? Oh my gosh. That's a toughie.
Yeah.
That's a real toughie. Um,
And what's your preference? Do you prefer drama, comedy, musical?
don't tell anybody.
Okay.
I'm a sucker for a musical.
Oh, awesome. Yes. There we go. There we go.
I am a sheer sucker for a musical. Um, and if it's Sondheim, oh my God, you know, it's
Automatic sell. Automatic sell. Yes.
yeah, just put the pen and paper down and just kick back and enjoy the show, you know.
Yes.
Um, but oh my gosh, the best show I think I've seen in all the years I've been doing it.
Hmm.
Um, a theater company since closed down, sadly, did a production of How I Learned to Drive.
No, I'm not familiar with that.
Oh my God. It's two characters. It's a father and a daughter.
Hmm.
And the guy that played the father just became this horrible, awful thing.
Hmm.
And I knew the actor in real life. And I mean, it was just like some kind of veil dropped over his face and his body. And he just became this terrible, terrible individual. And it was so well done that it still sticks with me.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's amazing.
That's
Truly
incredible.
amazing.
That's incredible. Well, thanks for sharing that.
So you gotta tell me about your characters. Tell me more about your characters. How do you come up with characters and story ideas?
Oh man, that's a tough one. They just I, and you probably relate to this. As an author, your mind is always active. It's always picking up information wherever you go. So it's never dormant. And I live in New York, so I cross paths with people all day, every day. And so you just hear snippets and you start piecing together and you play the what if game in your mind. And so for this story and the base story that it was based off of, The Amazing Date, it actually goes all the way back to the pandemic when we were, you know, home. My wife and I, we streamed like 20 seasons of The Amazing Race, and we loved it. And we're sitting there and we're talking through. It's like, okay, a lot of times it's people that are engaged or dating or husband and wives on there. It's like, what if it was two people that hated each other and they got paired together in this race competition? And so that's how I came up with it. And I had to give a backstory as to why they hated each other and how they got together on this race competition. And so that's the story of The Amazing Date in terms of the novel that it's based off of. This short story that is in the 52 Love collection is them post happily ever after. So they're together and they're enjoying their life, but you can still see some of the personalities of their trait. And so they do, they walk the city holding hands, hand in hand. And previously, the male character, Roberto, this was something he would have never done because he would have always like, we're going from point A, we're going to point B. I need to know everything about it, why we're going this way, how long, when we're turning. And Riley's the complete opposite. She's like, let's just live and see where the wind blows us. And so
Yeah.
when they walk the city holding hands, they play this game called Chasing Taxis. And they just find a taxi and they walk in the direction the taxi goes to until they lose sight of it, and then they pick up another one, they go that way. And so they end up walking randomly around the city holding hands. And I just thought that was so romantic. And it also plays with the character profiles so well.
That is really cool. That is really cool. So in the novel, at the end of
Mhm.
the novel, um, is that when they get back together as a
Yeah, yep,
couple?
yep. They get back together at the very end. They go through. Each of them have a separate character arc that they have to go and resolve their challenges, and then they end up together at the end of the novel.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Is there going to be another novel where they get married?
Possibly. It might be a backstory because there's a sister involved. And when I started writing this story, the sister makes an appearance here, and it's like, ooh, maybe I should finally give the sister her story. So, so it's percolating. It's percolating.
Oh, good. That's good.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yes.
So what genres do you write?
I write small town typically, but this was based in New York and LA, this race competition.
Yeah.
But I write also closed door romance. So it's usually contemporary closed door.
Define that for me. Explain it to me.
So that means there's no explicit sex on the page. It's all implied. So you have all of the passion and the build up to it. But if anything happens, we essentially close the door. It's like the old PG-13 movies where
Oh,
they zoom
yeah.
out
Yeah. I was going to
and
say,
the
yeah.
orchestra starts playing.
Yeah. I remember my mother back in the 60s, and I can't remember what film came out, and she and my dad went to see it, and they came back from the film, and she's like, that was terrible. I didn't need to see that. All they have to do, why can't they just close the door and everybody knows what's going on?
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Like I said, then the orchestra comes on and the music plays, and yeah, everybody knows what's going on. You don't need to show all of that explicit things, although there's a huge audience for that as well.
Yeah, yeah, there
So,
is. Yeah. I have I have four novellas that I've
mhm,
written. Um, and I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do with these? And somebody said, well, they're quite popular, you know.
mhm, mhm, mhm.
I was
Yes.
like, really? Smut is that popular?
Yes, it is. It's huge.
And they said, yeah, especially if you put your author name. and it's initials and a last name,
Hmm.
then everybody's going to think it's a woman, and women write really good smut.
Well, you bring up an interesting thought there because I in my social media I call myself the rare bird because there's not a lot of male romance authors as you mentioned. So it's interesting you mentioned that in terms of the initials and stuff. So I usually go by my full name and I put my photo out there so that they know it's a male author
Yeah.
out there. And yeah, there's definitely people that are curious to read a male author romance from that standpoint. And there's also lots of readers out there that are very skeptical about reading a male romance author.
Yeah, yeah, that I think that whole thing has like come forward with the hockey series
Oh
that's
yeah,
out
yep,
there.
yep. Heated
Hated
rivalry.
rivalry, yeah.
Yes.
And so many people are like, but it's written by a woman.
Hmm.
Why are women so much more successful at the romance than men? And I've heard so many conversations going on,
Hmm.
and it seems that women throw in a lot more emotion than men do into their romance.
Well, there's that, and I think in terms of the marketplace overall, in terms of romance category, 95% of the authors are women. So you would expect the vast majority of the successful authors to be women, just based on the numbers alone.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. I I call my Deadhead books romantic comedies because they are humorous, they are comedic.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, but boy, I'm telling you what, I don't think there's a whole lot of romance in them.
So it's interesting you call them rom-coms because when I read it, I was thinking more paranormal romance.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I started out calling them paranormal humor is what I started out
Hmm. Hmm.
defining them. Um, and then somebody pointed out, well, the two main characters of Jenna and Marvin, there really is a love story that
Yeah.
spans the three novels,
Hmm.
you know, just because they snark at one another in
Hmm.
jest all the time. They just
Right.
love pulling one another's chains. Um, doesn't mean that it's not romance,
Yeah, absolutely.
you know. And I
Absolutely.
went, oh, okay. So then I claimed romantic comedy.
Yes, yes. Hey, you're the author. You get to define it. So,
Are we allowed to do that though? Or
yes,
or
we
do
are.
readers really do it?
Well, they'll correct you, but you get to define it.